besides the vision of helping my nation become better, uh, I'm a strategic marketing and business consultant,
Mm,
and I'm also running alongside a capital advisory firm,
okay.
helping people, uh, customizing strategies that can help people grow and scale their business. Customized,
Mm-hmm.
there is standard, like this is what works for every industry, but consulting and understanding your goals and customizing a strategy that fit your goal,
Yeah.
so that is my USP, right? Like my unique selling
Yep.
proposition. So uh, when it comes to branding, because the platform where I upload most of my videos on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
I also upload business videos alongside videos where I'm analyzing some of the societal ills from the nation that I come from. So
Yeah.
you are touching on something very important, because I might have this passion, but also have a business.
Mm-hmm.
And my thought was, is it a mistake that I'm making to join everything on one platform and say, this is who I am? I run a business, but I'm also passionate about seeing the country where I come from get better. I was like, okay, should I separate them? Uh, but what I'm hearing from you is like, this is who I am, and I should not maybe separate that from the totality of what I do. Am I making sense? I don't know if I'm mixing it up.
I think so. I think I understand what you're saying, and this is a common question. Uh,
Yes.
of yes, should I only talk about business in this, area, and then should I keep the other stuff over here, or how many accounts do I need to have, and all of that?
Yes. Yes.
Now, I'm not. I focus on Instagram. So I'm certainly not a YouTube expert. I think that when it comes to YouTube, it is okay to kind of have different channels or pages for different categories, but that's a separate topic. As if we just take your Instagram presence,
Okay.
and because that's what I focus on, you should absolutely talk about all aspects of who you are today, which includes your business. It includes your mission. It includes you as a. Do you have kids? I don't recall.
Yes, I do. I'm married with 3 kids. Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, being a father, being a
Yes.
husband, the things that you value, just in, I
Yes.
mean, whatever those things are for you, and sharing. And the hard part, which
Yeah.
most people struggle with,
Okay.
sharing your failures, not
Mm.
the old ones, the current struggles. When you're having things go wrong, and then how are you problem solving, or how are you working through them? Those are what connect us, because then we, and granted, there's a way to do this. Like, I'm not saying you should just be, putting every little detail,
Yeah.
but a lot of times the things that you think you don't want people to know
Yeah.
are actually the thing that connects us to others.
Yes.
Like, one
Yeah.
of my favorite creators, and she's been such a huge inspiration to me. Her name is Jen Gottlieb. You may have seen her at
Yes.
events. She
Okay.
says, your mess is your message.
Yes. Okay. So, on that note, John, go back. Uh, let me see. So, how can you advise maybe professionals, business owners? I talk with them on a daily basis, right? How can they leverage, say, social media to create that online presence with their personal brand? Like, you talk about Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So, should they use just one platform, get used to that platform, maybe create that presence in that platform, understand how that platform really works before they diversify to other platforms? What is your take on that?
Yeah, that would be my recommendation, is to keep it simple at first, and don't, because then if you're overwhelmed, then you're not going to continue to take the action. So yeah, absolutely. I would say stick with one platform. And the other thing I would say is commit to small actions daily, meaning make a video every day. And it doesn't have to have a perfect edit, but it's you sharing what you actually are the message you're trying to put out there. And you're making those connections with whatever audience you have, whether it be 2 people or 200,000, doesn't matter. Because that is how you build a community of engaged followers, is you show up for them every day. Instead of, oh, I need the production team, I need to go in this way, I have to edit like this and that before I can show up, because you're already behind if that's the approach, in my eyes, because you don't need to do it that way anymore.
Wow. Amazing. I'll take you back to what you said previously about personal aspects of your life. I want to see how all of this ties together. Like I have my 5 F's. 5. So it is faith. Number 1 for me is faith. Number 2 is family, fitness, finance, and freedom.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, that is my 5 F's. So you are giving me confidence. I mean, like, just talking with you, because sometimes I'm like, am I doing something wrong? When I'm lifting up weights in the gym, because I have a gym at home. I used to go out, but I think sometimes it's faster to just do my 30 minutes and then I get back on what I'm doing. So I was like, okay, is it okay when I'm working out, I put it out there, I put it out there? Is it okay to put, maybe because I bring my son sometimes into the gym, but I don't put that out there? Should I put that? So I have all of this. Sometimes I train with my wife. I'm like, should we put this out there? So things like that. So what is your take?
Yeah, I mean, just hearing you share some of that, I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to see that, right? Like, I mean, how old are your kids?
Yes, my eldest is 7. I have 7, 5, and 3.
Okay, yeah. So you have young children.
Yes.
So, yeah, there's so many things that you can share from that angle and perspective of, like how you prioritize time with your wife. Maybe you guys have date nights on every week. I don't know. You could talk about that. You could talk about how faith is such a core part of everything you do in the household. Anything. Yeah. Working out and making it happen, right? Like you're making these things happen. That can be such an inspiration to other people if they see that, right? Because there's so much more to your current success than just showing the book or showing the marketing and this other business that you have and all these things. Like, there's behind that, in order for you to get to where you are today, you had to do a lot of different things. And so it's like, talk about those things.
Wow. Okay. I think I'll let you ask me a question before I come back. I mean, like, I'm trying to take in everything that you're saying, and
tell me this. Tell me, what is what have been some of the most pivotal moments for you in your life? How old are you?
I'm 35, going on 35.
Okay, 35. So we're around the same age. I'm about to be 38.
Okay.
So 35 years.
You don't look it. I mean, you don't look 38. Wow.
So, so what are some things, and maybe like some failures?
Yes.
In those 35 years, what would be some of those stories?
I've started multiple businesses and failed.
Okay, really?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, this is intriguing. Tell me more.
One of the biggest challenges that I struggle with in most businesses, like this is the second marketing business that I've started, and this is picking up. because I had to drop even the idea. I knew from the beginning that there is nothing you will do without marketing, especially a customized marketing, because it was not like I didn't go to the marketing conferences, I didn't read the books, I didn't buy the coaching programs. I did all of that, but a customized marketing approach that fit my need was what was missing out. So this is like the second marketing. My beginning, I started in film productions. So I ran a film production business when I was 19. I started a film production business. I actually met my wife on set. She was an actress. Yes, so she came for my production and all of that. That is how we got to meet each other.
Oh, that is so cool. I love that.
Yeah, so that has been my journey. I've always loved challenges, how to solve problems, or the passion to see problems solved. I've always gravitated towards that, right? So I'm always asking those questions. I know.
Why do you think you gravitated towards problem solving, though?
Sorry?
Why do you think you are that way? Like, as a child, were you just a problem solver, or like, how did you develop this ability?
I think the earliest moment, I grew up in a house. I was like one of the, maybe my siblings say that, but maybe I was like my dad's favorite child. Like he really loved me that much growing up. So
why do you think?
Said, yeah, go ahead, man.
You're the oldest son?
No, I'm the middle child.
I'm the middle child too. Okay, so why were you the favorite?
Which, that is, it's even confusing, because most of middle children, they get neglected a lot in the family. It's like nobody cares about you guys. My wife is the middle child as well. So, but for some reason, I think I have this curiosity, that kind of a child that wants to know, ask questions. I think from my very early beginning, I want to know, why is it like this? I want to know. And I think that curiosity might be something that my father picked up and liked from the very beginning. Maybe. So so he sent me to I started in a very good primary school, right? A private school.
Okay.
So most of the children that came to that school were wealthy. I was one of the broke ones in school, but he made sure that I went to that school.
Just you, or the other kids too?
Trust me, for some reason, I don't know why. Yeah, so I went to that school. Every morning you see these people driving with beautiful cars, drop off their children, and I have to just walk to that school. It gave me, you're sitting among people, their father, their mother, they come from a very wealthy background, and you are one of those children that don't really have. And you have to make yourself relevant in that environment.
Wow.
The only thing that made me have friends in that school was because I was academically smart. So while they have their cars, beautiful lunch bags, and everything, they will only come to me because they want an answer to a question. Or we can only interact at that level because they can see how I approach education. So what made me stood out in that school was loving education, being curious, learning, and setting myself apart. And I think which is what connects with what you're talking about, branding. How do you stand out? I was able to stand out in that environment because of that.
But so help me understand. So you didn't feel a connection to those children at that school outside of just the academics?
Yes, I felt lonely. I think that has rubbed off my entire life. I've learned to love to be alone.
But why?
In that school, I don't fit in. You come back home, you can't really fit in because your brothers go to these other schools, your sisters go to these other schools. So when they come back, they have a different conversation. And I'm going to this school, I'm in there, it's a different conversation. So you really feel alone most of the time.
I think this is interesting what you're saying, because, and I think this is very common from, this all goes together, because it's, you see, we attach our identity to the external things in our lives. So like in your case, that school, okay, they were all wealthy and they were getting out of their nice car and you were walking. So you felt different. But
Yes.
and probably your intelligence made you feel good enough, but really none of that mattered, because if you really were to have had an understanding of true human connection, which most of us don't have this understanding because everything is focused on, how book smart we are.
Yeah.
You would realize, like, if you went back to school today, I'm sure you would be curious in a different way about each of those students, because just take you and I, like, we're very different from different places.
Yes.
You're a man, I'm a woman, right? Different upbringings, but at our heart, we're the same, because the heart is what connects us all. So if you were to connect from the heart with those students, I bet you they feel just as lonely as you.
Wow.
What do you think?
I mean, like, I've never got to the place where I get to even share this story. I don't know how you pull this out of me. I don't even like explain this to people the way I did today.
I love
But
this. I think this is like so beautiful.
Yeah. So what you're saying is those children feel lonely as well. They have insecurities just like me.
Yeah. I think that we all have the same insecurities. And I think that we put on these, like, we put on armor is what it is. It's the armor of, I'm poor, I'm rich, I'm this, I'm that. Nick, say whatever you want to call it, right? But if you look at people in their eyes and you genuinely are curious to know about that individual person, we are all the same, and we have all the same desires, and we all just want to feel seen and heard. That's it.
Wow. So, wow. So what it's because I don't really want my identity to be tied to what I can provide or because of what I know. I want people to just see me and understand I'm a human like you, and irrespective of performance, do you see me and do you understand me? Because now I read a minimum of 4 books a month.
Wow.
Every month. And also going with the podcasting thing, sometimes you listen to the Audible and all of that. Because I feel like, I don't know, that side of me has made me feel like I have a lot of responsibility and a lot to give to the world. That drove me down this path of becoming more so that I can give more, because I feel like you will never ever give enough. So it has, throughout my journey in life, it has made me to feel like I'm like that that source of light, that I was born to pour light on others.
Yes.
So every time I'm always looking at what can I get to pour light on somebody? What can I look for so I can give? So So I don't know, but you're helping me to have a different perspective on everything. But I don't know if that kind of helped me to find my own calling in life. That because you don't fit in that environment, and so
Yes.
you have to give something in that environment, so that is what people, at least even when you're leaving, you feel better about yourself. But I don't know.
Yes, that's what I can relate to what you're saying. Yeah, you feel like, well, you have a spirit of giving. You probably
Yes.
are. I believe we all do. Some are born maybe with more than others, but you get a lot of fulfillment out of being needed. So because you were smart and you could provide the answer, I'm sure it made you feel good to give that answer.
Yes.
But the true, I think the goal is knowing that you don't have to give anyone anything, and you simply existing, you are enough. But of course we want to serve and we want to give back, of course.
Yeah.
But like, it shouldn't make you well, a lot of times we just keep doing and trying to be, and I'm guilty of this too. It's like, I just want to be there for people because, like, selfishly, yeah, that makes me feel like I'm worthy.
Yes.
That is how, this is how we feel. But like, we're really all worthy wherever we are, no matter what we've achieved, no matter what title. I don't care if you're a homeless bum. And speaking of that too, to make the world a better place, this is where it starts. It starts at, I'm not saying you have to give the homeless guy money. I mean,
Yes.
you can. I think that's generous and lovely, but like, look the person in the eye and acknowledge that they exist. Because even just that and a smile can go a very long way.
Yes.
So we need to see people as people and know that you don't have to have anything attached to you to be good enough, truly.
I mean, I think you're relieving a lot of burden on me, because even sometimes when I serve my clients, I still feel like I didn't give enough.
I know. You know what? I sometimes feel that too. I'm not gonna lie, because I want them to be. I do. I want them to feel good and feel like they got more than enough. So I can relate to that. But really, the client, you can give the client all the information, but at the end of the day, it's also like, it's not just on you, right? Because going back to the personal responsibility, it really comes down to each of us individually and what we decide and what we believe based on the information that we have.
Wow. So now, with the advent of social media, Kate, and I think maybe in the past 10 years, social media has been very prevalent, a powerful tool to building a personal brand. We met at an event that is networking. What role does networking play to building a personal brand?
I think
from your perspective,
it's everything. I think this is okay. This is what people think nowadays, and this is where we have to shift the perspective. People think, okay, I can just make these videos and I can reach all these people, and as long as I get this certain number of followers and this and that, then I've got a powerful personal brand. And the truth is, you can have a lot of followers and it can look like you have a strong personal brand, but you could have minimal relationships, if any. So to me, that's not a good indicator of your brand. It's a combination of what you do in real life and online. And it's using the online space to build real connections, not just for virality, but it's to make the video that, like, for you to make a video of, have you ever felt like you didn't fit in? I mean, even just people that aren't from this country. I'm always so fascinated, and I've like not been many places. I need to travel. But they are always so successful. And I think it's because they have this resilience and like determination. And Americans are so entitled. And it's wild to see. But anyway, I know I've worked with a lot of clients that they have an accent, right? So they think that's like a negative. They think it's a negative.
You go.
They have an accent. I'm like, no, this is what makes you amazing, because everything that comes out of your mouth is going to sound way more fascinating than mine, because you have something unique and different.
Wow. You know, Kate, it's people like you that really, really change the world. Back to that issue of networking and not fitting in. Just like you said, people who come from other backgrounds, other nations, looking at building a brand, right? I want to be able to serve a wider audience, because I feel like, just like what I said, you feel like you always have to give more to be relevant or to be acknowledged within a given space. Now, you acquire more, but you can't give more, because maybe you have that insecurity of an accent, like maybe they don't understand me, but you are saying, okay, that doesn't really matter, that makes you unique, right? When your accent makes you unique. But again, finding myself in America, it was like I found myself back in that school in a space where I didn't fit in, and I had to work hard to give more.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. So how did you see? Because, okay, let's go back to the event we met at for a moment. A lot of people got up and took the microphone and told their stories. You remember, you were there.
Yes.
I don't remember a lot of them that were in the back of the room there, because they didn't move me. Yours, I felt. You see the difference? Like, to me, that's the difference of branding, of a good brand that you can resonate with. If you're just giving me a list of things you want to achieve, you know, oh, I've done X, Y, Z, and I'm going to do blah, 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 like whatever. I don't feel it, but you were different. It was different. You see, and that to me, you had a deeper mission and purpose. So I think, again, for branding and having a presence online that is actually changing lives, that's what it takes. So I don't remember your exact words of what you said. I don't remember exactly what you said, but I just remember it made me feel something. And that is the difference. So it doesn't, your accent, that wasn't even a thought.
Wow.
Because I was in my heart. I don't know if this makes sense, but like,
yeah,
I don't remember all those other people. And a lot of them didn't have accents, but I don't remember that because it was a combination of things, not just your accent, because I didn't even think about that. It was just it was a feeling. I don't know.
Wow. Okay. You just picked up Myles Monroe right there. That man light up the fire in me. A pastor from the very beginning of my career. I used when I just came to America, I used to live with a pastor. And he would hear me speak just in regular conversations. I was not in ministry at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And he just asked me, have you heard of Myles Monroe? I said, who is Myles Monroe? He introduced me to Myles Monroe more than 10 years ago, before he passed away. And he said, you need to listen to this man. I said, who is Myles Monroe? And he went on YouTube and played one message of Myles Monroe. it was like I met Jesus. Yeah, and I listened more, and his message on purpose, finding a purpose for living.
Yeah.
And what you are bringing that out again in me today to remind me, I mean, like he said, die empty.
Mm-hmm.
That empty yourself, that you shouldn't go to the cemetery. His message on this: if you go to the cemetery, there are people there that dreams that have been buried, there books that were never written, songs that were never sung. I mean, like, that is the message that it light up the fire in me. And to think that I'm trying to bury that side because of what people think, I think it's doing a disservice to the people that might connect with my message.
I absolutely believe that, and I know I can. All I know, what I felt in my heart that day you spoke, I could feel it, and if I felt it from just that one interaction, you are Myles Monroe. I feel like that is you, your vibe.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're you, but like it's the same. What's wild? This is what's wild about God, right? Like this is what God does. I didn't know this man. Okay, nobody told me his name. I was on YouTube. I'll never forget. I was sitting at a Panera Bread, and I had my computer. A video pops up of him. I started listening to it, and then it just took me down all these other videos.
Yeah.
Nobody told me about this book. I was Actually, I was going to that event where I met you. This week at the airport, okay? There was one of these left on the shelf. I look up, I see it. I think I need to buy this book. I read it, the whole flight there, which wasn't long, but look at me. This is me writing inside of this book. I read this book in 2 days, that weekend that I met you. This man is dead.
Yeah.
He has impacted my life, impacted your life, and countless other lives, right? Because he had the courage to be seen. And that's legacy. I just think it's so cool. I'm like, how cool is that?
So you read that book while you were coming to that event?
Yes, and I never even knew this book existed. I only knew when I saw it at the airport. And yeah, isn't that crazy?
It is.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
So,
that is the man that inspired me at the very beginning of my personal development journey. And before even going to the seminary to study, that is the man who sparked a fire. And it was a pastor that just heard me speaking and said, there's somebody I need to introduce his messages to you.
yeah.
And from that moment, it has never been the same again.
I have a feeling this moment is going to be really powerful for both of us too. It's God is good.
Yes, it is. Wow. Kate, I think we have talked a lot, but I've learned a lot as well. And I think this session was for me. Even if no one gets to watch this video, there is one life that you've imparted today, and that is mine.
That means a lot.
I'm going to sit back and watch this video from the beginning to the end again. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for caring so deeply about humanity. And I fully support your mission.